Is it clear?
Yeah. Yeah, it
Sorry,
is.
I'm very like OCD. Techie.
Oh yeah, it's good. It's good.
You look like Kim Kardashian.
Yo, shut the fuck up, bro. Yo, shut the fuck up.
You really have.
Yo, we got that on camera.
I was looking at her face this whole time. I'm like, she looks like Kim Kardashian.
No.
Feminine. No, you hear my aunt and my mom, they're fucking like.
Oh my god.
Everybody thinks we're
I'm gonna
crazy.
be crying. I'm gonna need to not be close to the mic because when I laugh, it's about to be loud as a bitch. That's fucking hilarious. Hey guys, welcome back.
Oh, we're recording?
No.
Oh my god. I was about to say, yo, say 1, 2, 3 or something. Like.
Hi guys, welcome back to Vajza Gra.
We're already laughing.
We're already laughing and we cannot wait for you to meet today's guest. But before we jump into that, we want to thank you for all the support you've been showing on our 5 episodes that are out.
Yeah, 5.
Currently. We would love to hear your feedback, so continue to comment and DM us. And yeah, do you want to tell us about our guest today?
If I sound like shit, it's because I'm hungover, and so is our guest today. So I feel very.
She feels better about that.
I feel better about myself. Yo, today, so as soon as I knew we were starting a podcast, this is the first girl that I wanted to have on here because if you have not come across this girl's TikTok, what is on your For You page? Today we have Kristina, also known as, what is it, Miley and Red Bull Fiend?
Yeah, you got it right.
Yeah. I told you, bitch, I'm a fan.
She watches your videos religiously.
She's an up-and-coming comedian who gained a lot of traction on TikTok. And you started your TikTok during Corona?
Yeah, like last November.
So tell us about like why you started TikTok. What was your first TikTok?
My first TikTok actually was me cutting my hair. And I was just like, fuck it, I want to cut my hair like those girls do on TikTok. And I cut my hair. And then like, I was like, let me make some more TikToks. And then I made a TikTok like how I used to make videos on my Finsta, like a rant or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it kind of started moving. And I was like, oh, okay, like, I just got to talk how I talk. Like,
I just gotta be myself.
I just kept talking and motherfuckers just kept listening. Like, crazy.
Nice.
And I was like, okay, like, people fuck with me.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Do you just want to start out by telling us a little about yourself for those that like don't know anything about you, like where you're from?
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I forget that people don't know anything about me.
Because this is our first podcast, baby.
Well, I don't really disclose. So I'm from New York, upstate, I like to say. But I'm like an hour away from the city. And, because I don't like to disclose where my shit's at. But... And I just turned 24. A lot of people like to know my sign. I'm an Aries. And what else do people like to know about me? Oh, I'm Albanian. You couldn't tell on this podcast. And, yeah. And for the Albanians who really like to know, my family's from Shkodra and Malsi.
Yeah.
Now I think I covered it. Now.
She covered everything.
Shout out Shkodra.
She's like, that's my identity. I'm Albanian and this is where my family's from.
Yeah. And I'm first generation American, so.
Lit.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so we got 2 first gens in the building. That's why we're so fucking hot.
And I'm the oldest in my family. That's something of people.
Is that significant? In Albanian families, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. You take care of everything.
God,
you take care of paying the bills and everything.
Huh? No. My dad luckily like works.
Yeah.
But
No, I mean like, are you the one?
one?
Yeah. Are you the one that like sets up doctor's appointments and stuff like that?
No, I hate doctors. I actually people set up doctor's appointments for me.
Speak
That's
more
hot.
into the mic.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
So like.
Yeah, you did have to like make out with that microphone.
All right, we're gonna be sitting here like this, very intimate. But I don't know. Being the oldest, you take care of a bunch of shit, and then out of nowhere, you get tired of taking care of so much shit that you step back on a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. So like, I don't do doctor's appointments. My mom did that shit. I fucking all that shit was her job anyways. So at least she did doctor's appointments. Like, you're good. Like, I did everything else. Like, motherfucker, everyone's talking to me, not you, for a reason. Like, so.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
You know what I mean? So, but my mom, she's great. Don't get me wrong. She did like all that stuff, but like all like the other stuff, like emotion, like, and then the cleaning and cooking and all that other bullshit in between.
I love how
The oldest is supposed to be a boy. You know what I mean? So,
Oh.
and then you gotta embody that. You know, being the oldest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, luckily, I'm pretty cool, even though I'm a boy. I'll probably surpass every guy.
You know, that's so funny you say that because when I was born, the doctors told my parents I was going to be a boy. And my dad was aesthetic and he took everybody out and got shots for everyone. And then at the next doctor's appointment, they were like, yeah, no, it's a girl. I don't know who told you it's going to be a boy. And then my dad was disappointed, I think, maybe.
you were a disappointment before you were born.
My mom when she had my sister. Because they had me first and then they had my sister. And they're like, wow. You're like a waste of space. And I was like... When she told me they told her that, I was like, no fucking way. I was like, and you trying to tell me that they're not misogynistic? Like, you trying to tell me they love us, like, and they treat you like that, bitch? I swear to God, mom, I tell mom all the time, our culture is misogynistic, blah, blah, blah. She's like, they love women, they treat us like princess. I'm like, bitch, where's the queen? If we got princesses, where's the fucking queen?
Oh my gosh, Kristina. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wait, tell us a little bit about how you got into comedy and like where you started out. What was your inspiration? When did you figure out you were funny and people wanted to hear what you had to say?
I mean, I always growing up, feeling like you guys say, like a black sheep. Sorry, like a black sheep. So like coming from like my crib going into like Western world, you feel like a black sheep, so you gotta like overcompensate, like you're lacking in some area. So I would just try to be funny like all the time, like that was just my personality. And I didn't even know you could be a comedian until I watched Seinfeld, and that was like 4 years ago. And I was like, you could be like a real life comedian, like.
Yeah.
And then I was like, fuck it, let me be like try to be, but like, yeah. My mom, like we were talking about earlier, is super funny, and like every room my mom goes into. Because my dad was always working. So like I told you, I went to Michigan like 4 or 5 times a year. Every year we go to Michigan, just be me and my mom, you know, riding shit out, like being the head of the house, technically, like going to weddings and baptisms on behalf of our like side of the family. So when she'd go in there, she'd be like, she's the man, like, so she'd be making everybody laugh. Everybody loved my mom everywhere we went. I couldn't believe it because I was not fucking with it. I had to do an 8-hour ride and everyone's loving it. I was like, yo, how do you guys know? I was like, whatever, sure. I guess you're that bitch. Like, no wonder you act like this. Like, I don't fucking blame her. Oh, she's one funny ass lady, and if you meet my grandma, she's one funny ass lady. So yeah, I got some pretty outspoken women in my family. Luckily,
that's
like
amazing.
the women in my family like talk just like me. Like they don't give a fuck, and they'll tell you they don't give a fuck.
So go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So in the same breath, they are very reputable. So like in our community, like they're like soft-spoken women. They're supposed to be or whatever, and that's what they try to maintain. And they just like keep their composure. And I was never like that. And they used to get fucking pissed. So they didn't like how I couldn't code switch. They didn't like that I didn't want to code switch. Oh. You know what I mean? So like they would just. That's where, like, the disconnect would be. And my mom would always be like, why the fuck are you like this? And I'm like, because you're like this. She's like, no, I'm not. And I'm like, you are, like, every day like this, but, like, just not here. Like, who gives a fuck? I'm just going to be myself. Like, I really don't give a fuck. Like, so I think that's where it came from. But it took a lot of not giving a fuck.
Yeah.
Really not giving a fuck. Like, they pretended to not give a fuck. And it's like, you do.
Yeah.
You give a lot of fucks. Like, that's why you act like this. Like, and that's why I don't.
I think that's how my family is too. Like they say that they don't care, but all of the decisions that they make are as if somebody was to judge them.
Somebody's life was on the line. I swear to God. As if, like, God forbid the people back home hear about what we did. Like, who gives a fuck? The motherfuckers is getting money from us. we're buying their lives, and I gotta hold back on what the fuck I'm doing in America.
My mom would be like, for her brother's wives, for example, like, oh, what is who and who gonna say when she finds out?
Who gives two fucks?
Do I care?
What is it their business anyways? Let's ask that. Like, what are you doing in my business?
Bills? Yeah. I don't care about somebody's opinion who's 30,000 miles away from me, first of all.
Real.
And that I don't
even
talk
if they're
to,
fucking next door, I swear to God.
And like I don't talk to them literally once a year.
Even if you're in my crib, I don't give a fuck. You can be my fucking Dajana's my sister, and I tell her I don't give a fuck. I'm moving. I'm going there. I'm going there.
Yo, and you live with 9 people in your crib.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about that. That's why, guys, that's why she's always making TikToks in her car.
And I just love my car. Like, my car is a good car.
Yeah.
I just always like chilling. I smoke in my car, chill in my car. I just be living in my car, like, listening to music. Yeah.
I do the same thing. It's like my little sanctuary.
I
feel so safe in my car.
I've never had a car, you guys.
Oh, you gotta get one.
I've never had a car because I didn't
She goes, oh, just go get one.
You telling me you got a corporate job, all this money, get a car.
Okay, so you're a fellow college dropout.
Yeah.
Welcome to the club. Where did you go? Do you want to say where you went? Or?
I went to a community college. I'll say that.
Same.
I went to a community college and I went for psychology and I never passed my remedial classes like 3 semesters straight. And I literally told my mom, I'm like, you understand, like, I'm never going to college. Like,
yeah,
I'm just gonna drop out. I'm not paying $2,000 for this shit no more. Like,
yeah.
I'm just gonna go keep working. Like, that's what I like doing. Like, I'm a worker. That's it.
How did she react to that?
She still wants me to go to school.
She still wants you to go to school.
Dude, sometimes she I like be telling, I'm like, hey mom, like, you about to see, like,
yeah,
I'm about to do my life, like, and she's like, I don't know, Kristina, like, you should still try school. I'm like, for what?
My dad says the same thing.
Like, what the fuck you want me to learn how to do, bro? Like, I'm already fine. What I gotta have someone else tell me that for? Like, I swear to God, it drove me crazy. I did go to an improv class over here in UCB.
Oh,
I
that's
did
nice.
Improv.
Okay, how'd you like that?
Just to calm my mom down. Like, I'm going to comedy school. I swear. And she's like, and she's telling everybody, Kristina's going to comedy school. Like,
she took one improv class.
And she went and told everybody, bro.
She's proud.
And I didn't even do improv. I don't like improv like that. Like,
yo, okay, but listen to this. So, because I think this is kind of relevant, because we were recording an episode on like immigrant child guilt, right? And I was talking to her about like me. I dropped out of college, quit my job to start this podcast, and it's very like unconventional, you know. And our parents, like, they can't imagine a secure lifestyle if you're like an artist or comedian or, I don't know, content creator, because they never had that option to live.
no, they don't even think.
They don't even think like that, like, to profit off of like talent. Yeah.
Listen, I don't blame them. This is what I always tell them. I'm like, listen, guys, I get it where you're coming from, but I tell them all the time, I just got to show you.
Yeah, that's literally
it. I just got to show you, just wait on it. Like, I know I'm taking a minute, but like, let me just show you. Like, give me another minute. Like,
it's so crazy when I told my parents about this podcast. My parents are very much like, you have to go to school, do this, follow the right.
I can tell because you went to school, you did this, you did that, and you're like a model Albanian woman, really. Like,
but then we started this with Dita, and I was telling my parents, expecting them to be like, because it was always like, you need to focus on school. So I was expecting for them to be like, you need to focus on your job. You just started your new job, like, you're doing really good, whatever. And when my parents were like, yeah, you need to drop that as soon as possible, like, before anybody else comes up with the idea and all of this, I was like,
you know why?
Is this my parents that I'm talking to?
Listen, if you didn't tell them it was about Albanians.
True. I wanted.
You went to them and said, I'm going to talk about Albanian women, Albanian in America. They're like, please. Like, we've been waiting to talk. Like, we need another platform. Like, every Albanian wants to fucking hear, like, about Albania.
Also, another thing is like,
they were literally like, okay, that's the smartest idea actually you had, probably.
I was just shook to get that reaction from them, because like you were saying, they don't really know about careers like this. Like,
it's not even that. It's like I was gonna say, like,
wait,
in their perspective, it's like you come from one country to another, and like you're sitting there like putting all this money into this kid that even you never knew you could make. Like, you're just doing all this shit. You make it to a certain point in your life, and like your spoiled ass kid comes up to you because they view you as spoiled because they only have one pair of shoes.
For
yeah,
sure.
whatever. Yeah. And they come to you and you tell them, you know what? I don't fucking want to do school. I don't even want to work a real job. I want to be a fucking comedian. I want to tell jokes. They looked at me and they were like, oh yeah, oh really?
Yeah.
You living in a dreamland, Kristina? Like, did we not raise you right? Like, what the fuck did we do with you? Like,
that's another problem. They think that if you don't do the right thing, it's like they did something wrong.
Oh, they did. Like, they just don't know what they did. They definitely did. They just don't think about what they did wrong for real. Pre-men, think. I'll be telling them, like, think harder. Think just a little harder. You're almost fucking there. Cause mama be hitting me like, oh, I guess it's my fault. No, bitch, a little bit. But like, yes, I'm old enough, it's my responsibility, but a little bit, yeah, but like, you can't even think that hard, like. So it's like, whatever.
If I don't pee my pants in this episode, I'm never going to.
Oh my God,
you can't blame them. I mean, think about it. They only had, like, I was just thinking about it yesterday. Like, I'm breaking so many ceilings as like an Albanian woman.
Yeah.
Like, and I just recently learned this term, the glass ceiling of a woman. I never learned that before.
Wait, what is that? Tell us.
It's a glass ceiling. It's like the limit a woman can reach. Mm-hmm. And when you break it, that's it. Like, you've already reached the limit of a woman and you can't, pretty much like you can't like.
You surpass like a certain.
I don't know how to like really like, but it's a glass ceiling and it's like.
You outgrow the expectations.
But you still haven't really done anything because you're still kind of just like a woman and you really can't even go that far.
Yeah.
Like still. Mm-hmm. So it's like you break the ceiling, but like
but
how
it's the
high
fact that
ceiling?
And it's also the fact that there's like a limit, a glass ceiling.
Exactly. Our limit. So you put the limit.
There's a limit. Yeah.
So when you break that limit, it's like. But I've broken like a bunch of limits that they didn't even know you could break, and they just keep watching me break them, and they're going crazy, like me breaking all this shit, and I'm just like, chill, like this is good for everybody.
Chill, there's more coming.
Trust me, we wouldn't believe how good this is. Like, like the more of a piece of shit I am, the more you're gonna have a good time. Trust me. Just let me live my life. God made me this way. Like He put it in His hands now.
That's what I've been trying to say.
Yeah. But I think it's so important to talk about these things because there's people like me and you, other Albanian young girls who feel like, yo, I'm creative, yo, I'm funny, like I want to do these things, but I gotta go to school and I gotta be a corporate bitch, like this one right here.
My fucking ex calling me.
Your ex is calling you? Speaking of exes,
great way to jump into that.
Oh man, speaking of exes, don't even get me started.
I'm a whore. Want to talk about exes? I have one, yeah. I got a bunch.
How many guys have you dated?
I got a bunch.
I don't even fucking know at this point, like.
Cause you talk about your exes on TikTok.
Yeah.
So I'm like, how many?
That's why I was saying, like, that's when I was telling you guys earlier, like, when I first wanted to do comedy, like, that's why I never put my name out there. That's why I didn't even put Albanian. I didn't put nothing. I just put Mylan Rebel Fiend, like,
yeah.
What I'm addicted to, whatever, like.
Yeah.
I just didn't really want anybody to hear my shit. I blocked every single person I personally knew, and I only had like 2 of my cousins unblocked. Yeah. No one else knew what I was doing.
Like family-wise.
Until I got to the point where everybody was hearing about what I was doing.
Right.
Nobody was receiving my videos because they were blocked, and I'm getting calls like, what is I'm hearing this fucking shit about? I'm like, oh my God.
Mind your business.
Yo, but isn't that crazy? Like as Albanian women, like when we put ourselves out there on social media, we deadass have to think like, oh, I have to block this certain person. Maybe I can't use my name because bro, let me tell you, ever
came
since
back to my family. Like,
yes, after starting this podcast, my mom has been receiving calls nonstop. And you know what? Let me take this moment real quick to actually say something. No, let me take Kristina's like bugging eyes.
Someone
like,
fucking call your mom?
Bro.
That'll piss me off.
Bro, they're calling
my mom.
And it's like
I'm talking crazy on the internet.
Yeah, I love how like for us, did your parents have that talk where it's like don't spill too much tea now, because low key my parents said that to me.
Yeah.
I already feel like I did. Smoking, drinking.
I already feel like I did.
Yeah. Wait, so tell us more about like that conversation. It's first of all, it's crazy the fact that
you're about to talk about your mom.
Oh yeah, so maybe I should take a moment to say something real quick. I know, like dead ass have to say something because I told my mom I would address this because my mom is a very anxious person. My mom deals with a lot of fucking shit, and the last thing she needs to hear is other people talking shit about her daughter that she is very, very proud of and totally supports this podcast. I just want to make it abundantly clear that if whatever I talked about on this podcast, whoever I talked about on this podcast, not only did I get their approval, They heard the audio before it was released. They gave me verbal approval. I have receipts. I have receipts of every single person, every guest, every person who I've referenced to on this podcast, out of respect, has been informed. Because at the end of the day, this is my platform and I can say whatever the fuck I want to say on this, whether you like it or not. This is my podcast and I have all the power. And I think that coming from an Albanian family, it's annoying because you're not thinking about, oh, what is Dita gonna do? You're thinking about what is Dita gonna do and what is her family gonna say about it and what are they gonna say to my parents about it and what does my parents have to endure? And it's really annoying when you're trying to have a platform and you're trying to build something for yourself because there's people trying to tear you down and that's not cool.
Especially when it's family on top of that. Like,
yeah, and so if you hear about somebody on the podcast, stop trying to make the shoe fit into your life. So don't call up my fucking on and be like, this is about blah blah blah. This is about blah blah blah. Just know.
But if the shoe fits,
just know
put that bitch on.
Like, just know that if I reference somebody on the podcast out of respect, they were informed before the podcast was released. So mind your business. Everything that I've ever done in my life, unlike you, I can sit up here and own it on this podcast. Whatever I've ever said, whatever I've ever done, I can sit here.
We're not scared of living our truth around here.
Unlike you, I can sit here and own everything that I've done because I live by my truth and I stand by my truth and I don't care who judges me for whatever I did in my past. So don't ever think for a second that you have anything over me because that's the difference between you and I.
We'll sit right now and spill it all.
I'll spill it all right now.
I can only imagine what the fuck dealing with that.
That's people want to get involved with who you're dating.
We do have an episode
coming up about that because we got a viewer, a listener sent us a whole story. She was like, I want you to read this verbatim on the podcast. She's dating a Latino and she's like, she's been dating him for like 5 years. She's like, I don't know how to come out to them.
So I've only dated non-Albanians.
Me too.
So we could talk like that. I've never in my life looked at an Albanian and said, I want that guy. I want to stay away from that
Literally.
guy.
My punani cannot do its thing for an Albanian guy.
My cousin's been like,
no,
and I know not everybody's like that, but like my guy cousins are fucking.
I used to talk to an Albanian, and he actually did treat me like.
Well, that's probably because you were Albanian too. But if it's
you
like,
are too.
No, but if Albanian guys date outside, they don't treat
women with respect.
Yeah,
and it's like if you can't treat that woman with respect just because she's not Albanian, you're not gonna treat me with respect within 5 years.
I just don't understand that because then why date them?
To use them and fucking abuse them and take out whatever they got from their parents on them, bro.
You know what it is for me though? You know what deters me from dating Albanian guys is because I feel like I've witnessed how Albanian men treat women. I'm speaking out of experience, just like what I saw, and I didn't like the way they treated women. So, and that's where a lot of like internal like oppression of being an Albanian woman, like that's, people are like, why don't you speak Albanian? Well, because from a young age I hated being Albanian because it restricted me from everything I wanted to do in life. I verbatim told my mom, I said, do not ever talk to me in Albanian. I do not want to learn Albanian. Like,
really?
Yes, I said, don't ever talk to me in Albanian. That's how much like I disliked my culture. Because
did you learn it now though?
Now as an adult, I'm like, you know what, this is kind of useful. Like I'd like my kids to like speak Albanian, you know. And that's the thing, like just because, and this has to do a lot with like the whole like, oh, we have to like keep our traditions. Like both my parents are fully Albanian and I don't speak Albanian. So you don't have to be Albanian to keep the Albanian tradition alive. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's say in regards to like dating, let's say I end up marrying just some regular dude. He's not Albanian. We have to consciously decide, oh, we're going to keep our traditions alive and we're going to teach our kids Albanian. Like, you know what I mean? Like both my parents are Albanian. I barely speak it. So being Albanian has nothing to do with keeping the tradition alive. It's like a conscious choice to like embed.
It's good to keep the language alive, not to make you feel any type of way. But I recently learned this myself. Our language is the oldest language in the world. And it's like the most preserved language. And I had a lot of issues with Albanian pride because I just thought it was too fascist. Like it was just too like
no, I get
patriotic,
that.
like
red flags everywhere.
Like you don't like it's like you're saying all this about our country, but we ain't making no money there. Everybody left. Like come on, like. But then I really looked at it and it's like we went through like 300 years of war, and as a country we stayed independent and like in the craziest way ever in like all that adversity. So there is a lot of strength like Skanderbeli and all that. Like,
Yeah.
no, you find a lot of strength in them, and like when you dance, you know what I mean? Like you feel like Albanian eagle. Like that's how I really found the joy in honestly being Albanian. I love being Albanian.
I love being Albanian.
No,
and I love it. Motherfuckers wish sometimes, I swear, like motherfuckers are like, oh, you're Italian. I'm like, you wish I was. Like, I'm Albanian. Like,
now I like as an adult, after like healing from everything, I just stopped blaming my culture for fucking up my life. Like I just had to stop blaming my culture, and I'm starting to like be proud of being Albanian, because I'm like, all right, there's faults in it. We can fix those faults, but there's so much beauty, bro. Yeah. Albanian people are like the strongest people. We've got the most amazing history. And
the hottest bitches.
And yes, I do plan on learning Albanian. I actually want to spend a year of my life.
We're gonna take her to Albania this summer. And
no, I'm being for real when I say this. I want to live in Albania. I want to live in Albania, and I want to be I want to be fluent in Albanian.
I tell my parents all the time, if I could make the type of money I'm making here in Albania, like I could start a company or something over there where I can make decent amount of money, because that's the biggest issue. That's the biggest reason why people leave Albania. It's not because they don't like the country. Like,
it's beautiful.
It's stunning. Yeah. Like we have our own houses. We don't pay taxes. Like all of these benefits, but like there's no jobs, or like it's so corrupt. It's hard. It's super corrupt, and everything
just got done with communism.
It's everything. Yeah. Everything is based on politics. You can't get a good job even if you go and do the education. Like you go get a doctorate, there's chance you won't have a job. So that's the only reason why people leave Albania. It's not because we don't care about our country. We don't love our country. We don't love our traditions.
No, you can't stay.
Like the only reason is because we can't see a future for ourselves or our children.
That's sad, bro. That's sad.
It is sad. But like people from here, like my uncle just built and my cousin built a church over there. I think my uncle built a school. That's
amazing.
My cousin
That's
built
awesome.
a church with his restaurant.
Yeah, and I think like also making like this podcast, I feel like is a form of like progressing our people and making us more like united and stronger. Like why don't we just be open with each other, stop judging each other, like start showing more love, because Albanian people, we're so tribal, bro. We're so tribal and we're so headstrong. So if we're like that with each other, we can progress more than any of these other countries. It's just that we don't have that like united front because we're so busy judging each other. I'm like, yo, Albanians can do anything. Like literally.
That's so true. But I'm really curious to see.
But we do everything just in spite.
Yeah.
Literally. That's what it is. I mean, we're doing it right now.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, I want to see how things are going to change where, like, our generation of parents, like, is... like they die or whatever. Like I don't know how else to say that in a nice way.
Some of these Albanians, they like to keep their parents' shit.
Oh, trust me, I know. Especially the people from the north.
It's like I thought you didn't like this. Like I remember like being like 8 years old talking to my cousins like we're never gonna be like our parents. Like we're never gonna be like we're not gonna do this. And like, bro, you're your dad right now. I'm talking to your dad.
No, literally, it's true. But I feel like a lot of us have moved forward, like the way we talk about things and everything. So I'm really curious to see if we can keep our culture alive and everything that we find as positives in our culture, and then tweak the things that we talk about in this podcast. Yeah. And then we just have an amazing, accepting culture that supports one another and wants to see each other succeed and pulls everybody up instead of pushing them down. Like, I want to see if that's gonna happen like after this generation.
Yeah, I can't wait to see Albanian people progress, bro. It's time.
I mean, we're progressing, period, right now.
Yeah,
we're already progressing.
So let's move on to a different topic. So are you a bartender?
Yeah.
I'm
a bartender.
We need to come to your bar tonight.
So listen to this.
It's in the middle of a mountain. You bitches go out to Manhattan. If you came to my bar, you'd be like, Kristina.
Bro, no.
If you guys came up by my bar,
it's
a restaurant. It's a great restaurant. Great food. Fuck, I swear to God, amazing food and drinks.
Not sponsored, but you could sponsor this video.
But it's not like an environment that you're going to want to sit. I mean, if you want to sit and chill with me, yeah. You know what I mean? But other than that, you're not going to really... party.
Okay, but listen to this story. So I got kicked out of a bar for the first time ever last night.
Really?
For the first time ever. I got kicked out of a bar.
I told her not to tell me before you got here. So
because I want your reaction, because the person I was with is very level-headed, and he was like, nah, Dita, like... they kicked you out for a reason. And I was like, no.
They said you fucked up.
But you need friends like that. But okay, but you see, I don't think I did anything wrong. So as a bartender, let me know if you would kick me out.
Okay.
Okay.
Knowing her, I bet she did something wrong.
I don't think I did anything wrong, bro. Okay,
tell
so
us.
I'm out with my friend Eric. Shout out Eric. He takes me back to our like hometown, or like where I graduated from high school.
Yeah.
He took me to like the local bar, and he's like, and I like ran into people I went to high school with. I was like, oh my god, this is freaky. I felt like a celebrity.
Oh my gosh.
Just kidding. Not really. So we're drinking, we're vibing. It's like there's fucking like old ass dudes. There's like Westchester moms, and then there's like people who like the townies who like never left town, and then like we're all vibing. It's a great time. We're playing darts, and I go to the back. I'm smoking a cigarette because I smoke when I drink. I just can't help it. So we're smoking a bogey, and then there's this guy there. This like Mexican dude, right? And he just starts engaging in our conversation. My two guy friends like faked a proposal. So the guy, and he's like, this guy barely speaks English, so he didn't know what was going on. So he's like, oh, thinking like my friends got like, engaged. And so I don't know how this happened, bro, but like when I drink, I flirt, and I somehow convinced this guy to give me $40. So he takes out his wallet and he gives me $40, and he's like, go buy you and your friends drinks. Okay. And I was like, oh, okay, shit. So I kept a 20 and I gave a 20 to my friend, and I was like, let's go get a drink. We go get a drink and we're vibing, and then we go back outside. The guy's still there, right? And he goes to me, oh, go find one of those girls. I want to buy a girl a drink. So I was like, oh, I got you, bro. And I went in, and I was like, and I went up to like, a girl, and I was like, hey, a guy is willing to buy you a drink. You want to come outside and, have a little conversation with him? And she was like, no. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, just did not give me good vibes at all. And I was like, okay. Not what I was expecting. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go back there. I'm going to get another drink for myself. So I go back to this guy, and he gives me another $20. And at this time, I was like, all right, I don't think I actually want another drink. So let me use this 20 and let me tip the bartender. I'm just going to give it to her. So I go up to her, and I'm thinking the same thing, like, yo, this is mad funny. A guy is just giving me money for no reason. So I go up to the bartender. I'm like, yo, this guy outside just gave me a 20 here. You keep it, And then on top of that, she was giving me the receipt for my credit card to close out my tab. And on top of that, I was giving her a $10 tip. Mind you, the bill was $30. I only got like 2 drinks. And she looks at me and she goes, I'm not taking your money. I'm not taking that 20. And I was like, why? She was like, that guy who gave you that money, he works here. He's the head chef. And I was like, okay.
And what about it?
I was like, okay, but he was just giving me money and I want to give it to you. And then she was like, I'm not taking that money. And I was like, so give it back. So I was like, so give me the 20 back and let me go buy somebody else a drink. And she was like, no, you're taking advantage of this man, da 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 da. And I was like, hold on. Like he fully like is giving me money, and I'm like giving it out to people, like getting drinks, like you're making money off of it. Like what the fuck is the issue? And this bitch got me kicked out. I was like, okay, if you're not gonna keep the 20, and she started pissing me off at this point because she started making me feel like I was a piece of shit person for taking this man's money. I was like, what the fuck?
So I'll be hooking girls up where guys' money's at the board.
What is that one TikTok? you need to find girls who will scam men.
Not scam, but these men want to give money out to women that they get this feeling from me. Like I've noticed at the bar, they get a feeling from paying for women's things.
Yeah, 100%. And I used to be a bartender, so I know how to talk to people. I know how to get money out of people. Like I just have that personality where I indicate, whatever. So
don't come around here. We're scammers.
I'm somebody who just fucking gives money away for free.
So I scratch off the $10 tip that I was gonna put on my credit card, and I was like, fine, bitch, then I'm not tipping you. And then I just scratched it off, and she got me kicked out of the bar. Would you have kicked me out of the bar? I feel like...
Okay, listen, I thought you threw punches or something.
No!
That's where I thought this story was going.
I was about to.
I've been kicked out of a bar too because of somebody else, and that bar story was completely different. Like that's
Why
really
have you been kicked out?
That's
really
why I'm like, okay, I thought this was going somewhere completely different.
That's so unnecessary. They made you seem like you're some kind of fucking like... For a second, I thought she was gonna tell you this guy was like a known rapist.
Same.
She was about to say, did you forget to look at the picture on the wall? Don't take money from this guy. That's what I thought she was about to tell you, bro. Like, and you're telling me something completely opposite.
I literally thought he was either gonna go there or like I punched the bitch.
I was so ready. My friend Eric drags me out of the bar. He was like, yo, because when I see red, I see red. I have this like ego where I think when I'm angry, I can fight anyone I want. Wait, what?
She said we only see red or black.
That's, I think, just what happens. I just started seeing shit. I'm just like, oh. I'm just start looking and people are talking. I'm like, listen, I'm blacking out. Like,
it's either red or black around here.
Red and black till I die.
And like away from noise. Like, or I'm literally about to go freak out. Like,
oh shit!
Yeah, fucking crying. Okay, yeah.
No, I literally thought this was going somewhere completely different.
Yo, she made me feel like the biggest fucking slut. She made me feel like a scammer. I was like, yo, what the fuck is going on? And for that, that's so fucking whack. Like, that's the first time.
And you know, chefs are like known fucking annoying ass pervs.
Yo, every restaurant I've ever worked in, like, come on, the cooks. Don't even get me started.
Come and grab the plate, and I'm like,
advantage of him. He's letting people take advantage of him. My night last night, like my friend was like. I was like, party hardy. Like, let's go fucking crazy. Like, I'm trying to fucking like, go crazy. She's like, we go crazy. I'm like, we're going to party so hard, blah, blah. I'm at the party. I'm like, this place is wet.
Yo, last week, me and Dita went out. Was it last week?
Bro, that was like 3 weeks ago.
That shit was forever ago, actually. But it was like the last second. We were like, bro, we should just go out. And those nights turn out to be the best nights. Whenever you talk about it like that.
No, but I did that. Like, yesterday I hit up my friend. I asked him if he wanted to chill and smoke. He was busy, so I was like, fuck, let me call my friend. I forgot she had off from fucking, she's like on her fling at school or some shit in college. Called her up, went up there. I'm like,
dropouts be like,
I'm like, this shit is whack. Like, when is the party starting? Like, she's like, Kristina, be patient. Patience is a virtue. I'm like, fuck me. I like going crazy. Yeah. So I went so crazy. I got so impatient. Oh my God, that I get. And she literally said it too. It was my friend Matt T. Shouts out to Matt T. How you shout as your friend? I love my friend Matt T. She's so cool. Bro.
Wait, speaking to the mic.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Fucking, what's it called? Within like a second, I got humbled. Oh my God. Oh my, I can't even tell you, bro. I'm on the fucking side of the building throwing up. And everybody's just like, I'm telling everybody, I can't move, guys. They're like, what the fuck you mean you can't move, Kristina? I'm like, bro, if you give me up, I'm gonna throw up again. Like, I can't move. Like, I'm telling these kids, because I'm with a bunch of kids, like, younger than me. I'm embarrassed. Oh my God. I'm sorry, bro. I'm honestly embarrassing you. Because I be handling my shit. Like, I be partying, hardying all the time. Daily basis. Now, this is something I've never done before. Yeah. So, like, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. And I really got fucked over by that. It's like, Jesus, like, I'm just not gonna do that ever again. Like,
yo, everything you say, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's your demeanor. You were born everything you say, bro, it just comes out fucking hilarious. Because I can't tell. I could
just tell, like, the way you guys party like my sister.
Okay.
Don't put us together.
It's a fun party.
We like to be in the club looking cute. I
love being a club rat. I'm literally a club rat. Like, I love clubs. It's a problem. Like, I had to get away from them. Like, luckily this year I chilled out. Seriously.
I think this year I chilled out a lot.
I chilled out and I went out last night and I wilded the fuck out like nobody's little business. And everybody's just like, what? And I'm over here
I'm sick. I was in there.
Dude, I had to remind everybody, like, did you realize how I pre-gamed before I came here? Like, because I don't think you guys remember what I was doing. Because I'm fucked up. I had to tell everybody, like, you guys are not here. I know you're not because you're not throwing up. Like, I'm the only one fucked up in this fucking place. And you kids are telling me you party, but I party with them a little bit too much, I swear.
Kristina, we're going out tonight. I'm trying to see this live.
No, I don't even want to see it again.
Oh my God.
But the fact that you got here on time today after that type of night, like, Dita will take 2 shots and the next day she can't wake up till 4 p.m.
I gotta recover for like 2 days.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a really bad
drinker. You were here on time, exactly on the dot.
Yo, I told this bitch to come at 12. She texted me at 11:59. I'm 1 minute away. I was like, holy shit. Yo, that's fucking crazy.
That's hilarious that you can kick it like that.
Yeah.
I'll kick it, yeah. I had to.
That's lit.
You gotta go to work? Gotta go to fucking
Yo,
work. No matter how party hard.
I don't know what happened to me.
And if you want, bring the party to work.
I used to be like that. I used to party until 4 a.m. and then at 7 a.m. I was at work. I can't do it anymore.
My job would start at 11 a.m. or it would start at like 3 p.m. in the afternoon. I never had a morning job. I had a morning job once in my life, and I fucking was late every single day, like hour, 2 hours.
But I'm late regardless, no matter what time of the day.
They didn't fuck with it. They were like, "We're gonna fire you." I was like, "I'm just gonna quit. Like I don't need this job."
That's what happened
Kristina,
to me.
I've quit 6 jobs in the last year.
Oh, you're chilling. Like even me working at the bar right now is changing my perspective on men.
Wait, let's talk about that.
I can't trust them. Like I see all these guys at the fucking bar and the way they treat like their wives, the way they talk to me, the way the shit they say when they're with each other, like all guys coming and drinking at the bar. I hear the shit they talk about, the way they treat me, just totally changed my perspective on men. It makes me feel like, what guy am I gonna get that's not gonna end up like saying some shit like this?
Yeah.
Or like being around this, like even allowing this shit to be said. Like if my girl talks crazy, I'll tell him straight, like, you can't be like acting like that. Like I don't fuck with that or whatever. Like that's not a good trait to have, or like that's not a good quality. Like you should get rid of that like ASAP. Like you're not gonna want to live with that. Like,
but it's like the way
I'm talking about bums.
So bums, money, they all the same.
You don't need money. You don't need shit. You just need a dick and balls to be like that.
Like, okay, so you get this because you're a bartender, but working in nightlife completely, you work a different nightlife
than me. I work bartender shift from 3 to fucking 11. You work a different nightlife than me. That's what I'm saying. My bar is completely different than a bar that you worked at.
Okay, because you know what I tell people.
I sit with customers all day long that are townies.
Oh, gotcha.
That grew up, went to school, like they literally. It's almost like a town in Albania. They all know each other. It's very sweet. Everybody knows your name. It's like Cheers, like the TV show.
Oh, cute.
It's a very nice bar, but still,
you
I
hear
get
those
a perspective
conversations
of men that exist in my area. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
but what I was gonna say is, I've learned way more about men, about people, about communicating, and about money working in nightlife and these odd jobs than I ever did in school in my whole life. Like I want to hear more about that, like more about that shit, because I feel like until you work in nightlife, until you see, because when you're drunk, the real people come out. Like, you know what I mean? Like the real you comes out and you see these people and you're like sober.
Real you. That's not the real you.
You don't think that's like the real you?
No. I think that's a version of you that's kind of possessed by something. I swear to God, alcohol is called a spirit. It's supposed to make you vulnerable. And this is...
Oh, I've heard about this.
So if you're into spirituality or whatever, I speak upon God or whatever, but like, just in general, anytime you use a substance, you put yourself at a level where it's lower than where you're supposed to be. Mm-hmm. No matter where, even if you're doing upper, you're still not like at your... So like as much as you think that's your true self, it's only because people... They use substances and is an excuse to allow certain behaviors to come out. Mm-hmm. When you're drunk, you know what you're allowing to come out. Mm-hmm. I know that this is not you, and I know you've been waiting to let this out. Mm-hmm. And
it's like an excuse,
and you use the drink to let it out. But you've been trying to fight someone all week. You've been trying to fuck someone all week. You've been trying to show your pussy on the internet, but you know you can't, so you went and showed it at the club. You've been wanting to do this shit. So you go and get fucked up, and then you go home and say, "Hi, my guy's so fucked up. I can't believe what I did. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm crazy, but I'm crazy."
Oh, we feel we're called out on this side of the table.
That's what I mean by rage. Like, that there's a piece of you that wants to let this bad side out.
Agreed.
And you know you can't everywhere else. And you know if there's a bunch of bad people around you, you can get away with a lot of shit.
Yeah.
So that's why people do that shit. It's not because that's their true self. I think that whole true colors thing is like a word from the devil, I swear to God. Because to say that my bad side is my true colors, that's not the case at all.
Yeah, true.
No, because me sober, me level-minded and straight and knowing exactly what the fuck I'm saying, that's me. Mm-hmm. Like, that's me in control of me. Mm-hmm. The minute I let something else take control of me, then you can't even take what I'm saying, really. Because I'm fucked up. I am actually fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, I'm actually fucked up. Like, what do you expect from me? Like, I don't even expect nothing from me.
Yeah.
Because I'm this fucked up. Like, don't expect shit from me when I'm fucked up. So it's like... And
any promises you make that they don't stand when you sober up?
No, I swear I make promises, I keep them. Because like I said, I still me.
Nice.
I'm just letting that person out.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if I want to be a piece of shit, I'm going to be a piece of shit tonight. And everyone's going to see it, you know?
Yeah.
That's what people decide before they go out.
Yeah.
And it is. But, you know, people try to front and hide, but you can't.
Yeah.
And you can say, you know, that's my truth. That's not your true self. Because you know you was wilding out back in the day. You know, when you get older.
Yeah.
And you actually get to, like, yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
So you're very open about talking, like, this whole conversation has been, like, you letting everything out. How did you get to this point where you're just like...
Don't give a fuck.
Like, I literally don't care. Like, I smoke, I drink, I go out, I party, I go to school, I don't, when I decide not to, I work, like.
Because that's it.
Yeah.
That's me. Like, I don't know what the fuck to tell anybody else. Like,
yeah.
You gonna say, oh, Kristina's smoking? Yes, I am. Oh, Kristina's drinking? Yes, I am.
Yeah.
What do you want me to tell you? I'm not. I'm high as fuck right now in your crib. And I've been getting high for the past. I started smoking at 13. I started drinking at 13. I started everything at 13, and I didn't give a. And then like I just kept getting whatever ass whooped, all this bullshit. Everybody talking shit. Everybody going crazy. Everybody, oh, sure, Kristina, and oh, look at your daughter. And I told my mom, who gives a fuck? Like, I would tell her every day, I don't care, mom. I'm sorry that it's making you upset, but like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm gonna keep living like this because I don't want to live for nobody else.
That's amazing. And do you think like your parents are now at the point, or your family in general, not necessarily just your parents, but at the point where they just have accepted the fact that you're just going to live your life and like, it is what it is? Or do they still continue?
It's like a lost cause type shit though.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Like they can't take it as a lost cause, but to me, it's like, you just gave me everything I wanted. I want you to look at me like, just let go of that thought of me. Okay. That perception you have, it is a lost cause because that's not me. So look at me as a lost cause because you're never going to see that person you want to see. So I'd rather take that than the bullshit you're trying to project. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So I'd rather have people expect nothing from me and then show them everything I could do.
Yeah.
It's easier that way when everybody expects shit from you and then you show them this piece of gold.
Instead of them having the expectations that you don't even want. You don't even want to live up to.
I got to live up to something I don't want to even live up to. Like I want to live up to a totally different image of myself. And they can't comprehend that image, so I can't be mad at them for not understanding that. I just have to let them see it for themselves. Yeah. You know, I can't be mad at people for not seeing what I'm seeing. They don't have my head. They don't have my eyes. They don't have my life.
Right.
So that's it. You just live your life. Nobody else can see except for you.
That's amazing.
So, where did you adapt this like mentality? Like,
I don't know.
Do you think?
Did a shit ton of stuff. And I just kept telling myself like, you know, like whatever, like or nothing. Like I can only live with so many limitations. I took certain limitations and I got rid of some. You know, and I told my mom, I'll respect you in this sense, but you're gonna feel disrespect in this sense. But understand that you've disrespected me and you know, like we all have this fucked relationship with each other. So it's like, don't even bother. Like, we'll just keep it at this. Like we're chilling. Just trying to remind everybody, like, don't worry. Like we're all chilling. Don't forget that. Like you're not. Like we're just chilling. Like you're king size bed. I'm sleeping in a queen bed. I'm smoking, whatever. Sure, I'm going a little crazy. Like, what'd you expect, bitch? Like, you saw what the fuck you did, and everybody else did, and like, you expect me to calm down in the midst of all this chaos? No.
When you say like what you did, like what is that?
What do you mean? Like, you know how your parents treat you, and like how your family treats you, and just how everybody treats you. It's like,
so was your upbringing like rough? Because I feel like a lot of funny people.
I feel like everybody's upbringing is rough in a sense. Like I don't look at nobody and think you had an easy life. I used to all the time. Yeah. Until I realized everybody's got the same story as me. Yeah. You know, there's 98% of women that have gone through a certain thing. There's like 90% of people that have faced abuse. Like pretty much every percent in the world has faced abuse to some certain degree. And I don't have to talk about it in explicit detail. I don't have to talk about the issue for you to understand what I'm talking about. But you already understand how I'm talking, that I already know what the fuck I'm talking about. And I know, by the way, you're understanding, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. And it's as simple as that. And I think this is how Albanians speak in general. Like,
we speak in code.
It's a code, but it's a metaphor. It's like we speak like metaphorically, like you know what the fuck I'm talking. Like they know all this shit. But the thing is, Albanians don't think like that. They think like, I was telling my cousin like our upbringing, like everybody says they had a hard life, whatever. And it's like, okay, you had a hard life. Okay, you're a victim. We're all a victim, whatever. But we're all like kind of a part of it too. And that's like, my mother is very victimized. My everybody's kind of victimized if you can't like see it. It's always, what about me? Like, why are you not thinking about me? Like, you doing this, look how it's affecting me. Like, it's very like domino. Like, you're the domino in this, Kristina. And it's like, no, the fuck I'm not. Like, don't try to tell me I'm not. If anything, like, we're just all living in this shit show. We have to learn how to clean it up together. Like, that's what we got to start thinking about. Stop thinking about how I'm fucking shit up and start thinking about how cleaning this shit up from before. And then we can stop fucking up. Yeah. That's it. So I was telling my cousin, like, the reason you're so fucked up is because you're victimizing yourself the same way. Your parents the same way. Them. Yeah. I was like, you're just repeating this cycle. I was like, just as much as you feel like you've been hurt, you can go talk to your mother and she'll tell you the worst life story you've ever fucking heard. And then you'll go back in your room and say, Jesus Christ, like, why am I complaining, you know? But then her mother has an even worse story and a worse story. And the story is just getting easier. So it's like this victimization needs to like really like stop. You know what I mean? Because I feel like I could victimize myself all day long. You know, I can tell you about all this abuse I've endured, sure, but it's just like, that's not going to change it. I still have responsibility. And like, I have to take upon myself how I want to act and behave. You know what I mean? I can't say all day, well, I had a hard life. That's why I'm PC, or that's why I talk like this, or that's why. Well, no, it doesn't excuse anything. You know, people, they, as much as you talk about mental illness, like Albanians, as much as they don't focus on mental illness, they use it as an excuse for all their behaviors. As much as they don't realize they do. Saying they had a hard life is telling me you're in a competition with this shit, and you think, and you know where it comes from. And I learned this from my brother. Because my brother, I made sure my brother, nobody touched him. Nobody hit him. Nothing. Nobody talked to him any type of way. You try to disrespect my little brother, Claudia, you're going to hear it from me, like. And I don't give a fuck what you're going to do to me, like. You just don't do it to Claudia, like. And my mom was telling me, like, sure, so urtash Claudia, like, look how nice he is. Such a nice boy. And I'm like, look how you never touched him. Look how you never talked to him the way you talk to me, like. Look at how I treated him and how he's just like me. Because I told him that. I was like... But then in the same breath, when I see Claude not get the same type of shit that I dealt with, and he's acting like a fucking spoiled brat and it like pisses me off, I have to remember, like, that's what I wanted. Like, if I have a kid and I don't hit them, I can't be mad at them when they act a certain way that I would get hit for.
Right.
So it's like that.
It's like you're enabling the behavior.
No, it's a resentment that you have that you're not seeing someone right next to you get the same treatment you did. Yeah. It's like, that's not fair. That's why you don't get me. That's why you act like this. That's why you're spoiled. Yeah. Oh, you have it easier. Claudia doesn't have it any easier. He probably has his own problems he faces every single day. So I try to let go of my resentment that he's not facing my problems. And just because he's not facing my problems, he still has his own hard life. Right. And I have to accept that. And that's how our parents see us. And like, if we want to change, we have to let go of that resentment on them, because we're going to do the same shit to our kids. You know, like when we treat our kids with respect and then they come back and disrespect us, we're going to have a moment in ourselves where it's like, oh, you fucking dumb bitch. Don't you know how my mom was? Right. But we can't do that. So that's where we have to let go of that. Like, I can't be mad at you for not facing the same repercussions I did, because those repercussions weren't even real ones to begin with. My parents made those up. And
the thing is, like, we should want that we're growing and our children don't have to face the things that we did.
It's hard when you can't see it that way, because you've never lived that. You see it like your parents see you. I swear, it just, and you literally watch yourself turn into your mother, and you're like, oh my God, this is why she said this. This is why she said that. And I get it. But it's like, I try to tell my mom, like, those things aren't supposed to exist. Like, these are all made up by you guys. And these don't have to exist if you just let them go. Like, type shit like that. So I'm just trying to learn how to let everything go and forgive everybody.
And break generational curses, bro.
Yeah, like, I love my mom to death. My mom is like my biggest fucking inspiration. That woman is a fucking threshold of like, Yeah. At the same breath, you know, she's like, whoa. But everybody is. So it's like, we got to give our parents the grace. As mad as, you know, like, as mad as we can be at our parents, we got to give them the fucking grace. Because one day you're going to wish you had the grace from your kids, because you're going to let go of that shit that your parents did. And you think, you know, we think we're all like mental health and smart and this and that. But I swear, the minute you get tested, why do you act out of pocket? Because you still haven't learned. You know what I mean? And you're going to do that with your kids. If you get out of pocket in the street, just imagine how out of pocket you get in your crib. You know what I mean? So you still haven't addressed it. As much as we talk about mental illness and all this, we wild out everywhere. You know what I mean? So we have to learn how to chill the fuck out. Really, really, really chill the fuck out. And by that, you have to forgive your parents. Let go of that resentment.
Yeah, that's the biggest lesson I learned.
And forgive them and love them. And give them grace.
You know, something that you said earlier is like, we all go through the same shit. It's how you react to it that makes the outcome different. So you could have had the worst fucking upbringing, however you want to categorize the worst upbringing ever. And the way you react to it, like, let's say for you, for example, like, for hypothetically speaking,
I fucking laugh it off. That's why I make jokes.
Yeah, laugh it off. Exactly. So you react to it by laughing it off, by not giving a fuck, by breaking the generational curses, by healing, by not blaming other people for your problems and not victimizing yourself. But also you have to not dismiss other people's.
No, you get hurt by people. Yes.
Yeah.
You want to say, like you said, you said not to blame anybody. You can look in your life and say, well, this was to blame for that and this was to blame for that. But when you actually look at it and dissect it, and it's like, look deeper, like, she said this because of this. Like, that wasn't even her words. Like, that's probably not even like, she doesn't even want to be like that. You know what I mean? Like, she doesn't even know what she's saying. Like, and then, a lot of people forget, like, postpartum depression exists too with our moms and stuff like that. And like, that affected them. And like, people forget that our parents came from, or for mine, I don't know if everybody's a first gen, but you came over here, same thing. Like, they left their whole fucking family. They have no idea what the fuck is going on every day. And then you're being even more confusing. And they have no idea what the fuck to do. They were never prepared for this shit.
Yeah.
So you literally have to give them the grace. Like, as backwards as you think your parents are, it's like, why do you like really dissect them? Like, you want them to give a fuck about you, but do you actually go and talk and give a fuck about them and see where they're coming from sometimes?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's how I started to let go of my resentment. I started asking my parents questions like, yo, what was your upbringing like?
Literally, ask them a couple questions.
There's so many struggles that they go through that they don't tell us, and that alters the perspective that they have in our life.
But
and
that's
like
what
how
I
they
mean
think
by
about
that's
us.
where we learn to talk in metaphor.
Yeah.
And if you hear your parents when you're going through something, they say some shit that you're like, what the fuck does that mean? You think 5 years later that actually meant everything,
Right.
Now, 5 years later,
now
I'm like, holy shit, mom. She always told me, Christine, you're gonna come back. You're gonna tell me how it's right.
always says that shit. I'm like, yo, don't say that shit because it's gonna happen.
And I'm like, bitch, like, you gotta stop predicting the truth, like,
right? Like, stuff my mom would tell me when I was younger. Now
Wait
I
till
reflect,
you have a kid.
and I'm like,
yeah, but
wow,
you have that ability now too when you talk to younger people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
And they
It's
can't
crazy.
see it the same way you don't. And you have to just let them go the same way someone lets you go. It's
Yeah.
crazy. You live and you see everything that you did, and like, it's so cool.
Yeah.
Life is really cool, I think.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think you have a very great perspective on life
I-
because
a
you can
yes.
choose to be miserable or you can choose to be Kristina.
That's what I tell people. You
Yeah.
could choose your misery. You could choose your like
Yeah.
difficulty or your uncomfort. Like, you're gonna be uncomfortable no matter what. So pick the uncomfort you want to go through. Like, I could be uncomfortable, like, not fulfilling my dreams and doing what my mom wanted me. I would live in uncomfort, but I'm gonna live in uncomfort being a comedian too, just as deeply as I would that.
Yeah.
Because now I have to like sacrifice certain things, like family time. Like, I love chilling with my family. I can't chill with them as much anymore, whatever. I have to sacrifice these things, but the same way I would have to sacrifice things on the other side.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to sacrifice no matter what. You're gonna have to
True.
do. So pick your discomfort. Like, I'm gonna be uncomfortable doing my fucking shit
Yeah.
versus being uncomfortable doing jack shit. You know what I'm saying?
Kristina, where do you see yourself? Like, yeah, you know what I mean?
Perfect
Where
question.
do I see myself?
Like, how are you trying to accomplish these goals? Like, do you have like a game plan in mind? Obviously, you don't have to air your own shit out, but like,
No, it's not game.
Like,
plan.
when you say I want to reach the top, what does the top look like for you?
For me, it's an hour. Believe it or not, it's
What?
making it to do it an hour-long routine. That's it. That's my goal right now. Like, I could barely do 5 minutes, so I just want to be able to do. If I can make it to an hour in my life, that means that I did good.
That's amazing.
And that's it. That's all I want to do. All the support I'm getting, I really appreciate. You know what I'm saying? You don't even get it. I thank God. Little, I'm like, I can't believe people fuck with me this much. And it's like, God's just trying to show me, like,
funny.
Kristina, just
You're
do
a funny
it.
ass bitch.
yeah.
So yeah, so that's I'm just hoping to make it to an hour, because right now 5 minutes is a bitch. And
Like in you're when you say like an hour, you're referencing the
stand up special.
yeah, the
like
stand-up.
whatever. Like, if I could do an hour long routine, that's
Yeah.
all I want to be able to do, and do it confidently and do it like this, like myself, like, and just get up and actually know how to like really like want to say what I want to say, and like say it how I want to make motherfuckers laugh and change perspectives. Just have a good time. I just want to connect with people. That's it.
Yeah. Same here.
Yeah, I just want to connect.
We have
Those are
a
my life
common
goals.
goal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not, I'm not like measuring it by money. I'm not measuring it by like fame, or I'm not measuring it by like any of those things. I really just, I don't know, like, if I can make it to an hour, I know that means I'm a good comedian, and like, people want to listen to me go that long. It's not easy to do an hour-long thing.
Yeah.
And just do a monologue and just have people listen to you. That to me would mean the world. Like, what Albanian girls listen to for an hour long? You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's
really.
how we feel too.
And has like and not only that, like, I can tell you to shut the fuck up. You can't tell me no more. Like, now you shut the fuck up, like. And you're gonna listen. I'm gonna just tell a couple jokes, and we're gonna have a good time, and we're gonna leave.
Well, we've had an amazing time having you here. Thank you so much for coming out and giving us a really good laugh.
Guys, yo, she came all the way from upstate New York to the Bronx. She committed to this podcast.
It's not bad. From Travis, not bad.
Yeah, but I really appreciate you coming out here for real.
No, I appreciate you inviting me, man.
You were one of
I had a
the
good time.
We had such a good time.
You were definitely one of the first people where I was like, I need to have this girl on the podcast.
I needed to have a good laugh.
Yeah.
So
just being you guys, I'm definitely
so crazy because I didn't even look. She followed me on Instagram and I seen Albanian girl with her ass. I said, no Albanian girl be like that. Let me just follow her. Just because she's like this, I'm gonna follow her. I never see Albanian girl like this before.
like me.
Yeah, I gave you much props. That's the only reason I followed you. I swear. Like, I don't fucking know who you are. I literally have no idea who you are.
Well, we know who you are.
She just like messaged me and I seen her page. I said, I never see Albanian girls like this. This is cool.
Yeah.
So I followed
That's
her
really
based off that. And now
sweet.
I'm here. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
That's really sweet.
Albanian baddies unite.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. If you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please make sure to give us a 5-star review and leave a little nice review. If you're watching our pretty faces on YouTube, please like, share, subscribe. It really benefits the channel and it helps us know that you guys are enjoying it and resonating with everything we have to say. If you have a topic that you want to talk about or want to elaborate on any previous episodes, please shoot us an email. It's going to be in the show notes on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and on the YouTube description. It's vajzagra@gmail.com.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you again, Kristina. If you want to end this on some other shit.
I don't know.
Do you have any last words you want people to take out of this conversation we had today?
Be unapologetically yourself, if you take anything from this. That's all. And like I was telling you earlier, give yourself the freedom. Don't let anybody else have that power to have your freedom. Albanian girls, they struggle a lot with that. I want my freedom. You can have it. You just got to give it to yourself and not give a fuck about what happens. You know what I mean? And if you get fucking all that, that's a part of it. You just fucking live through it. Who gives a fuck? Cause look,
just eat it up.
Look where I'm at. Mom, you can't, like, for real, like how our mom said, you can't keep sitting around crying. If I sat around crying about my mom, I wouldn't fucking be here. So,
boom.
You know what I'm saying? Give yourself the freedom. Who gives a fuck? Just live.
And on that note,
all right, we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Love you guys.
Ciao.
Love you.
Oh, I always forget to say this thing. Okay. I say this thing I close out every episode with. Remember, I love you and you're never alone.
Yeah, you're never alone.
You're never alone.
Because you got 15 nosy ass motherfuckers in your business. If
And
you're
you got
Albanian
mad
woman,
spies in the block.
you'll never be alone in your life. You wish you was alone. You wish. I wish. Why do you think I'm in my car? And we ended on that.